When it comes to choosing plants for pollinators, I don't think you'll ever find a better one than Catmint, Nipita. If you look at those grey leaves topped with these great cockades of lavender blue flowers, you will seldom find one flower that hasn't got a bee foraging somewhere. They're an absolute magnet for bees, butterflies, all kinds of insects, and when they do go into that flop mode and just suddenly collapse, don't worry. In May, early June, you can take your shears to them, cut them down to within a couple of inches of the ground, and up they'll come again and flower all over again in late summer. Bees love them. The hardy geraniums, as distinct from pelargoniums, which we call geraniums, but which really need a greenhouse, certainly through the winter, although they can go out in summer, the hardy ones are little magnets for bees. They've got wide-faced flowers that can be pink, blue, white, and foliage which is often aromatic. I do like plants which are dual function at least. So we've got good foliage, flowers which on these hardy geraniums go on almost right the way through the summer, from spring right to autumn, and they attract pollinating insects as well. Brilliant ground cover too. I mean, what's not to like? Every spring, in about April, May, my garden erupts with drumsticks. The alliums are out, and I have one border where allium purple sensation reigns supreme until the beginning of June, and then I chop down all the heads to stop it seeding even further than it does already. But the bees love it, and I think that's the great thing about spring flowers, which suddenly wake up wildlife, and insects are wildlife. And the alliums, whether they're white or purple, or the sparkly ones like Allium Christophii, they're absolutely gorgeous. And of course then, from the gardener's point of view, you get these lovely seed heads that you can dry for winter. Foxgloves always remind me of Beatrix Potter and the tale of Jemima Puddle Duck. There are wonderful illustrations of them growing by a gate as Jemima toddles through. And in the woodland where the foxy whiskered gentleman is, the fox who's going to get the duck, but she doesn't know. All these images are conjured up by foxgloves, but they're beloved of bees. You can watch them going up into these tubular flowers on a spring or an early summer day. And they're a wonderfully statuesque plant. They bring verticals to a garden. It's all too easy to have what Beth Chatto used to call a tray of scones in your border, lots of humps. And the foxgloves in May and June bring these wonderful spires of elegant growth that bees absolutely love. The way a plant looks in a garden is really only half its charm or half its beauty. Well, it can be if you get a plant that's fragrant as well. Scent in a garden is an added dimension. And with lavender, you get that in spades. You get that wonderful mentholyptus tang from the leaves when you crush them, and then the pure lavender from the flowers themselves. And bees simply love lavender. It's great for pollinating insects. It's also evergreen. Just remember, once the flowers have faded, clip it lightly over, then you'll keep that bush young for longer. It has a limited life, perhaps 4, 5 if you're lucky, 6, 7 years if you gently clip it, but regard it as a little sub-shrub to replace regularly, and you'll find that you enjoy it every bit as much as the bees.